as it says, the child and what they're learning. When children learn to make inferences effectively, they have better overall comprehension skills. When with a child who can infer well, when would they have better comprehension skills?
They'll be better able to understand.
Yeah. They're better able to understand what the author is saying. They make connections. They read it close, like they make connections with the text. They understand what's happening. They have more engagement as compared to the text. And they think about their own thinking. That inside voice is activated. It may be outside at first, the teacher might be probing and asking questions, but we're hoping that eventually they ask themselves these same questions so that they can understand text on their own. And they, as we march them on that road to become sophisticated readers. And now let's look at the steps. And as you look at these steps, I want you to think of some questions that we can ask children to activate these steps. So we want the children to think of background knowledge related to a text. What can we ask a child to activate or stimulate background knowledge? What question could we ask them as we're looking at a passage or a movie or something? What does this remind you of? Have you ever? Actually, that's exactly what I have here. Have you ever? Anything else? Have you seen this before? Okay. Look for the author's clues. What can we ask the students here to activate this? To encourage them to be detectives. What in the passage? Alright, or according to the passage, and we see that a lot in confidential too. According to the passage, blah 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 blah. Alright. Or what evidence is there? What part of the text helps you to understand? Those kind of questions. Oh, right. Right? Read the sentence that, or write the words that explain such and such. Ask questions that take together background knowledge and the author's clues. What kind of question would stimulate that? Or would gear the children's mind in that direction? That would take together background knowledge and what the author is saying.
What would you do in that situation?
What would you do in that situation? Anything else? Okay, think about something in the passage and give a response. Okay, how would you feel if that happened to you? What you think the author said, such and such and such and such. So you're getting them not only to pick up on what the author said, but to give their own opinion, right? Evaluate, as somebody would have said earlier. All right, and you make inferences by answering questions. All right, that's what the children would do. Right.
You know, there could be another suggestion as to why Isaac and Jake may have been up. Sorry, Isaac and Alex may have been up. Maybe it could have been a practical joke. They could have read whatever they stood up even up and be able to.
True. But remember, inference is evidence-based. So in this short passage, we don't have any evidence to suggest that there was a practical joke, right? Maybe if you want to have to rewrite it, to say, okay, suppose that Zach and Jake were playing a practical joke on, Zach and Alex were playing a practical joke on Jake. What would you include in this paragraph to suggest that? Okay? So that's one way that can stimulate how you're thinking, how you're already thinking our children as well. Okay, homework time. Okay, this one out, I saw two teachers looking at this earlier, having a little giggle at it. So let's look at this comment. Let's make some evidence-based guessing here. Who do we think this woman is in the comment? We think this is Mommy, alright? Is there anything to suggest that this is Mommy though? The setting tends to suggest that, alright? Okay, and if we think that is the Mommy, who's the little boy? We assume that that's her son, alright. What do we think this little boy is doing? Taking an excuse, right? before lunch, or he's done, we don't know what. But we assume that he took some cookies out. And we see the evidence that there's some cookie crumbs on the ground too, right? Okay, so I just said that the boy was being smart. Now, how does the cartoonist convey that impression? I'm glad you picked that up. You saw Yale on his shirt. You saw that? I thought that was so fantastic. Because he's like, what, fourth grade? And he's already headed to Yale because of his event. Maybe he'll be a lawyer, who knows? All right. Now, where are they? In the kitchen, all right? And how does this woman, who we assume is a mother, how does she feel? We can see anger, she's upset, which leads us into the fact that authors have a variety of clues that they use so that we can infer their meaning. Visual, using the same comment. What visual cues have we been given here? Facial. Mother, the expression of the little boy. How she's standing gives the impression that she's upset. How he's standing gives the impression that he is defending himself. Alright? And then we have Yale, which gives us the impression that this is a little smart little boy. Situational. By looking at it, we can tell this is happening where? In the kitchen, alright? Location, same thing, it's in the kitchen. And words. And we know cartoonists are famous for using their words very well. And what do his words convey? Well, first of all, who can assume is speaking these words?
The boy.
And it's a boy. And his words convey what? That he's a criminal? He's trying to give a very imaginative, creative excuse in his mind plausible as to why the cookies